Hello, you. Welcome to La Théâtre de Phénix, a full cast performance of the greatest works of fiction ever produced, the Phoenix Wright trilogy, originally on the Nintendo DOS and the GBA. Now, we are currently in the DOS exclusive case, Rise from the Ashes. What we've experienced so far, apart from the case being interminably long, is that Maya Fey has gone off to train as a spirit medium, but a new plucky teenager has arrived. Her name is Emma Skye, and her sister, the chief prosecutor Lana Skye, has been accused of murder. Tends to happen a lot in the world of Phoenix, right? Phoenix has interviewed many different people, including Jake Marshall, one of the officers on the case, our good old friend Detective Gumshoe, and a mysterious lunch-selling woman called Angel Star. When we left off, Angel Star was under intense interrogation by Phoenix Wright, and that is where we shall resume. Please feel free to post your comments in the chat. So long as it's chat-based, heckling is highly encouraged at this theatre. It's for you. Be the groundlings you always wanted to be. So, with that in mind, let us return to the exciting trial segment of Rise from the Ashes.
Her phone? You mean this cell phone? By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene?
Yeah, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't mean the stuff.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall.
Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her telephone.
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. She gave up trying to use the phone on the wall and just used a cell phone.
Right, let's give her a present objection. Slam, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Ms. Lana Skye.
Objection. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias.
Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor?
Trust me, Hunty, you're barking up the wrong tree.
You
really
who,
are.
together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Hunty.
All tea, all shade.
Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this?
Huh. I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up.
Let's look at the floor plans. Here, that I'm tapping. Right, let's put that on the easel so everyone can see it. Right, you said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Ms. Skye making that phone call. Pack away me easel. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition.
Oh no, another backside you could be interested in.
Cheeky. Slam. If, indeed, you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it.
Oh my god, that's a real turn up for the books.
Bloody hell.
We mental. She could have seen it.
Order. Come on now. What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honour. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies.
Oh!
Ding.
You nailed it, Phénix.
Objection. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... Christ, what did she lie about? I've got three thoughts in my head. She tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order.
You're out of order! This whole court's out of order!
That's my line. Stop it.
What is significant about this fact? Nothing. It would be pointless for her to lie about it.
Pointless to lie. I see. Well, yes, I see.
The witness did actually see Ms. Skye use the emergency phone. In other words, Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location.
Objection. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I've ever heard one! You need to let me finish, right? Stop flapping your beautiful lips at me.
I'll flap 'em all I like. Objection! Watch my flapping lips before you call my lie pointless. At least let me tell it. For Christ's sake.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction.
Oh, Zane's my favourite.
The place from where Miss Starr witnessed this crime was... here, Slam. This is the only place where she could have been.
Security guard room?
Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned.
I see you showing the fingers at me over there, Edgeworth.
It's built on the second level, so you can see the entire lot. The whole lot of it, if you will. A little bit of humour.
Boo.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honour. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony that I'm tapping here, you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room. Yes?
That's right, that was for me!
Slam. Well, Ms. Starr?
How many years have I been getting the better of men? I can't even answer that question. To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Oh my god, a man got the better of Angel
Apologies
Star!
for
This is
everyone.
unbelievable.
Order, come on, order, shut up! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll
But
do
you're
what
guilty
I'm...
of murdering.
Well, yeah, I didn't say it had to be like murder punished. I just wanted some punishment. Anyway, I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails.
The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky?
Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense.
Huh?
Oh,
That's it, we're both confused.
I don't know what's going on. She could have just said that she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly! I have very acute ears, and I heard that whole whispered conversation.
I'm on the other side of the room.
This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The defendant, I tell you! The truth still stands.
Objection! It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm gonna put you over my knee, right? What?
Not here, not now. If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this.
I said it earlier.
She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So, tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. You obviously know.
Me?
Well, who else?
I could chime in. Oh, Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
Right, get me easel out again.
Here's some thinking music for you, Mr. Wright.
Thank you very much, Gary. Always appreciate it. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Here. But she lied and said she saw it from B block over here. Back away, Measle. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Got three thoughts in my head. Right. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
Objection. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. Or 10 yards. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
Thanks for saying that. I was always confused. Objection! What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness.
You...
Yes?
You ordered the squid wheels, right?
The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible.
I actually quite like squid wheels.
Oh, Christ, you can have them then, Edgeworth.
I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. No quotation marks. He's one of my boyfriends.
I love boysenberries.
I love boyfriends.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And then I sort of moved that way and that way. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene with my little Wario, chip. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Let me just move the chip so it's on the other side. And then I have to run all the way around. God, this is taking forever.
King me! Oh, no, sorry.
Oh, that's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes.
Oh, I say, 5 minutes, that's a long amount of time. Taking a piss there.
You can have a bath in that time.
Oh, come on, shut up. This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear. I swear on my finest plastic spork.
Is a nice spork.
Very shiny.
Have a point. And the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely. Put them fish eggs in my...
Mr. Wright, you have to do something.
Do I have any evidence to stop this? I'm going to raise an objection. Objection! Slam. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente.
What
I'm doing an Italian
the
course.
fuck
It's
are you
going well.
talking about?
How long do you cook your pasta?
I'm bloody starving.
I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie.
Nod. A 5-minute blank? Isn't that strange?
Strange?
If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honour?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea.
Slam, but you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable.
Inconceivable!
Inconceivable.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's
What is
inconceivable.
going on in this courtroom?
How many times shut up? Well then, it is we come to the end of this testimony. Thank God I got some lunch out of it. She has a grudge against the defendant, and there is a blank in her testimony.
Ugh.
Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history.
We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright.
It's a weird metaphor.
That was too close.
Right. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right?
That's the one she tried to foist off on me. That's the first time I've said the word foist.
I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say?
You can be mean, Edgeworth.
I like it.
Hold on. Save this for after. I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that? I've already hit my hammer.
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Mr.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
It's not the first time you've said that to a fella, is it?
No, I'm
just
really
doing my
used to it.
downright stuff. Woohoo! A triple decker. I hope there's some fish eggs in there. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony.
You are bad at this!
Shut up. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed.
What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time?
I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One, of course, was the victim's. And the other was the defendant, Ms. Lana Sky's blood. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe?
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
I swear to God, these are getting more gimmicky by the minute. Where's everyone?
Only.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed?
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
Hi, honey.
I have a
Hi,
very
honey.
involved
Hi, honey.
Google Calendar.
That's great. Your polycule is not on trial here. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
What?
You should know the 2 rules of evidence law, mister. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I'm so glad I had it written down here. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. That damn evidence law. Edgeworth sure is celebrating.
Ho ho! Dabbing on them haters.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective.
How can we forget? You mention it every 5 fucking minutes.
No, every 5 fucking minutes I bring out a new lunchbox. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department.
Who was it? It was Droopy, wasn't it?
As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
Gah.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen.
Haters
Looks like
dabbing
he
on
just
me. Yeah.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, cause for effect, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. which we
Don't
all
talk
knew
about
before
evidence
now.
law.
Well, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Wink.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness again.
I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. 2 types of blood were found anyway. I've had the best success with incorporating blood into some of my
Hold
recipes.
it! I can't let this evidence go through without a fight.
You ordered the peppered fish guts, right?
God, look better on the menu. Oh.
That's actually mine.
Some like it hot, Mr. Wright.
There we go, you have it, Emma.
And other assorted films. Some like your client.
That's
She's
my
in
least
enough
favorite
hot-
Marilyn Monroe film.
Yeah. She's in a lot. Whoa, okay. She's in enough hot water to make a whole batch of soup.
Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe?
A problem? It looks quite nice. This is critical. What's wrong with this victim's shoe that I'm holding in my hand? If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction.
That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie.
Also, I've been asleep. I had to get up early today.
I'd give you a peppered fish gut now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Order, order. Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. He's said most of his things to himself so far. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe?
There should be 2 of them.
That's not a contradiction. Oh, what's the problem with the evidence?
Right, let me get my x-ray glasses on and flip this shoe. Put all my DNA on it. Right. Ah! Take that! See where my finger is, Slam? I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe.
Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Can the bailiff tackle this woman?
Yeah, Gary, mate. Is
Under
it?
threat.
Sorry, pal, I'm just here to play.
Fair enough.
Quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe?
Wait, the woman was not.
Take that, Slam. The problem lies in the footprint.
The footprint?
Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't that strange? Why weren't any blood footprints found by the scene of the crime?
Aha!
As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe.
This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints.
Objection, Slam.
You can't object my
If there
objection.
were bloody prints, they could have been bloody found. We checked the scene and found nothing of the bloody sort.
Oh my god, these guys are gonna
Oh,
kiss
I
before
can't
the end of the
believe
show.
it.
I guarantee it.
Come on, order, order, order! Well, witness,
What? Huh?
Great going, Mr. Wright. But it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint.
Oh,
that's true. Little child, there has to be a reason why there isn't a footprint.
I'm a work experience. Think, Mr. Wright. Think.
Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What?
Hold it. I see. Now I get it.
Get what?
He gets me.
Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect.
Flashback, flashback, flashback.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr! It means I love you in dinosaur.
No
That's
flashback,
my
no flashback, no
sister.
flashback.
I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do.
No kidding.
Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty?
That. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
That's a confusing metaphor.
It
Hey, I
is.
like her metaphors.
Witness, well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water.
So it was a water drum.
Water? What does that mean?
Still don't get it, Mr. Right? More like Mr. Wrong. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
Aha! You don't mean? Yeah?
Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason, and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her.
Oh dear, this is picking up.
Oh, look, well, that ties things up quite nicely. The total speculation really ties everything in a bow. The blood stain left on the victim's shoes tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, knocked over the oil drum to erase the empty side.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty. Erasing evidence.
Is that an admission of tampering with evidence in the past?
No, I'm not a prosecutor.
That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him?
So, my sister's blood on the shoe. That's when it happened.
Judge, it's your line.
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please.
What? What can I do?
Do an armpit fart.
Oh, I could never do those. Your sister has confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it.
But
Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Which is definitely something I can compel you to give.
Very well. We don't need a jury in this murder case, why would we?
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water.
This court, I'm the defendant, Ms. Lana Sky. Most of them.
Dun dun
Did
dun!
Until she probably did it.
Little girl, what did you just say?
Huh? Me?
Did you just say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side?
Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints.
Wow. I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping.
Food.
If you've got any squid wheels going,
Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called Evidence.
Jesus Christ.
I'm loving these food metaphors.
That's not really a metaphor. Wait. Don't tell me you've got something else.
You've reached your verdict, Your Honor. Any further comments will be held in contempt of court. Another thing I am authorized to say.
Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen.
That's not as badass a nickname as you think it is.
Look at this! 3 exclamation marks.
Photograph?
I had this just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in this photo.
Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm not sure what for. I guess I couldn't help after all.
It's not your fault. I know I couldn't win this case from the bloody beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. Fade to black. I'm sorry, Mia.
Right. Wet or not. Don't be
Pardon?
so quick to throw in the towel.
Alec? Huh?
Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look in the Dagobah system.
Uncle Ben?
Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. Let go.
I got my Bens muddled up. It's not Uncle Ben, is it? This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time, I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Do it then, you coward.
Honestly, he's not asking anyone else what they think.
Objection, Your Honour, wait.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdict in peace anymore? And also, when you object, you don't even let me say sustained or overruled. Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. When it will be too late, then it will be too late. Look at this photograph I'm tapping here. The
Every time I
last
see it, it
one
makes me laugh.
submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
How many trials have you done? So,
About
right.
5.
Are you saying there's a problem with the latest piece of evidence?
Yeah. I'll think later.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Knight. Who the call the problem in his photograph of a clearly murdered man without a shoe?
Here, take that. Slam. First of all, the aperture is all over the place, and then the problem in this photograph is here. I'm pointing my finger.
What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor.
You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph.
Boo, you're tacky.
A muffler is also a part on a car or a motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe. The British have a more logical name for it.
I see. And I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
Huh. So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection. Sorry, mister, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony.
What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his tiny little mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
Let me have a look at my evidence rucksack. Here, take that, Slam, mister. Recall your testimony for the court. The one I'm tapping here.
Ah, yes, when I mentioned her, she mentioned the muffler. Muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Mony. Muffler. Ah! Yeah!
Really likes that word. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? Slam? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence.
seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
You can always tell we're suspending it when Gary's playing this song.
That's right, it's the suspension music.
Look, shut up. I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered, here we do a disservice to the law.
That's a new attitude, mate.
Have the car of the crime scene inspected at once, and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence.
Well, yeah.
Agreed?
I suppose so.
Whew. That was close. But we made it, at least for now.
The court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess, why not?
Yay, recess!
Pool party!
Time after all.
Pool party.
He's still oh no, that's not me.
There will now be a 10-second intermission. The intermission is over. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Sorry, I was just tying my shoe.
Are trials always like this with you? Like, lunch-based? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface? But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there.
That's, yeah, pretty much. That's every day of my life, yeah. Well, except today, we're swimming in quicksand.
Thanks, it makes me feel better.
So, what happened to your sister anyway? I should have asked this before.
Apparently, she got called off to the judge's chambers.
Right. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth that I mentioned 5 minutes ago.
So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth.
I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell you the truth.
And you are quite clothy.
Hold up, partner.
Oh, this fucking guy.
They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a young'un, at least.
Officer Marshall!
Thought I'd come take a look, see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. Ain't got the place locked down tight in the fort in enemy territory.
What is going on over there anyway? You're bringing a knife to a court for? Look, all the police over there, Christ, if they see you. All the police I've seen the last 2 days have been really on edge.
No, you've got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre. You could also be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf!
You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
What was that, Gary?
Nothing, it's not important.
I saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler.
What?
At the award ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth seen it too, I'd reckon.
What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf.
So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken.
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell.
I have a bad feeling about this.
What's in the flask? So,
Liquor.
what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? What are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
If it's a steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Woo!
What just happened? February 23rd, 12:32 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Hey! I think this is the first appearance of courtroom number 9. Hey, everybody, it's courtroom number 9.
Yay! It's my favourite courtroom.
I love it in here.
It's courtroom number 9.
It's a beautiful
Oh, I love the decor. It looks
That
exactly
new
the same.
courtroom smell.
I'd like to review.
What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution.
Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets.
Go to the loo, Edgeworth.
Furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes.
You look dead.
What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your bent.
It can't be. This can't happen.
Just run to the loo.
Metal Gear?
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Looks awful.
It was that squid rings.
Well,
Squiddy.
then, I believe it is time we continued on with this godforsaken child. During our inquest, I have requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation.
This is unacceptable.
It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself.
Excuse me, knock knock.
Who's there?
What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom.
Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in.
Do you keep a thermometer with you? And who
At
on
all
earth is
times.
he?
It's you.
Doesn't speak much.
Oh. Sorry I'm late. Gee, the roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh? Gee, how you been? Swim much these days?
Pool party!
Hello. No, I've been busy. So busy.
Busy, schmizzy, gee, my boy. You have to make time to relax.
Yes, indeed.
Gee. Seems to be his nickname for the judge.
I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Because it's a terrible nickname. Sorry, but who are you?
So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son.
Thanks.
So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly!
Really like swimming. Little worthy.
Mr. Wright. You don't know the district chief of police?
Chief of police? There's a chief of police?
Yes, he's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. It's sort of how it works.
Christ, I should have known that.
Name's Gant, Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone.
I love this guy!
Hi, Damon!
So, to what do we owe this honor today? You know, 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, isn't it?
Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this.
Hey, that's...
My sister's muffler. Gary, please.
Sorry.
So, Miss Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler.
But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe of Little Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us.
What's this?
It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this.
Oh my god, the judge doesn't know how to switchblade works.
I can't take risks.
Chief. What kind of outfit are you running?
Colonel.
Mr. Edgeworth.
How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job?
Now, wait a minute, Worthy.
Your nicknames are very unoriginal. I've no desire to hear your excuses.
I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature. Miles Edgeworth.
That's no fair. The day of the crime, I had...
You're head in the clouds because you got that award? I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology.
What? Are you serious?
Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is totally unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Gah.
The court accepts this new evidence, as we have done every 4 minutes during the entire trial. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure, I'd like to look at the blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honour? Well, I don't see why not.
Could you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes, I think all you have to do is push the switch and,
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore, not a euphemism.
yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point at people anymore, and I really like doing that.
Come on, just hurry up and open it.
Right, just grab it, switchblade here, okay. X-ray glasses on. Right, there's the button. I'm gonna press that, and
What? I want to say something, but I can't quite see what it is I want to say.
Don't
Looks
worry,
like you
when
want to say don't scare you like that.
I'm the one who's scared.
Look at this knife blade. Something else too.
The tip is broken off, you're right. And this dark red stain. Blood?
Blood? Blood. And bits of
And
sick.
bits of sick.
Indeed.
This does not excuse the actions of the police department.
You fucked it,
Nothing does.
Edgeworth.
I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife?
Sure thing, not a problem, not even a little one, really. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. The detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess! The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, huh? It's not official link to the case. Yeah, so I can't talk about it much.
There was a murder at the police department. A detective.
Nice hush-hush information, Haji. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Oh boy, a scoop! I gotta run to the editor!
Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office.
Oh my god, the turns keep on coming.
Whoa, this is exciting.
Order! I know it's exciting, but please.
Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top-secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright?
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places.
The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course.
I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Oh, Christ. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Rightio.
This knife is special, but I can't say why, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman.
Objection! Wait a second.
Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection.
This knife, the one that I'm holding here, this has to have something to do with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
Ah, ha, ha, ha. An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from the judge? This is great.
Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92 with a hyphen in the middle.
And this is important. Why?
Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this?
It's a memo.
6 minus 7s, 12 over 2.
6.
Nod. Your Honour, it's upside down.
Upside? Upside?
Down. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around, and what do you get?
Bippity boppity boo.
Exactly. Just turn that round there. There we go.
Yes.
When he wrote this note, I wasn't there. He was holding the paper upside down.
SL9. That's the same thing that's written on the knife's tag.
Oh my God, things are upside
God, I'm
down.
glad I
in
missed
all
my sister's
senses of
wedding
the
for
word.
this.
Order. How are there so many Welsh people here?
Would it?
Well, Chief?
Well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto.
I win? This game's easy to play.
The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
Hold it. So this knife was stolen?
Yes, but on the day of the murder.
Edgeworth, it's your
There's
line.
evidence, you say. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon?
Nice! Nice! Good show, Little Worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case I long since solved.
So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car.
Hard to think that there isn't a connection there.
That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to hold it, and the department, at least, was killed in the business. It's a scary time and crime situation.
Hold it. 5:15. But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office.
As I said 10 minutes ago.
What?
Funny, isn't it?
Is that a punchline?
A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances?
Oh my God, what is happening here?
This is the kind of thing you only get in courtroom number 9.
Coincidence.
This is just my gut feeling. But I'd say that there's a 0.001% chance of that happening.
Nerd!
Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident.
Great name.
Not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it.
Hold it. How can you say there's no connection?
How? Because I'm the chief of police! I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand?
He's becoming more Rodney Dangerfield by the second.
Try to understand, Rido.
Well, if you can prove there is a connection, more power to you. Hey, maybe there is something that ties the two murders together.
Whatever it is, I'd better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence.
And that knife, what was it doing there?
That's not a knife! Sorry, I'm in the wrong room again.
Christ,
I'm
Paul,
so sorry.
Please leave.
This is the Welsh room. Get out of here.
I'm still looking for the Weinstein Briss. I'm sorry, everyone.
You want courtroom number 7?
Down the hall.
I'd better check this knife out.
This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. A detective was killed at the police department. It was a scary time of the crime. 5:15, huh? Not officially linked here.
Adam wonders about it, but I better check this knife out.
Not officially linked, so I can't talk much about it.
There we go. Hold it! How can you say there's no connection?
Is anybody else getting a strange feeling of deja vu?
I believe
And the
I
knife,
got
what was
this
it doing there?
again. We're doing a bandersnatch, I believe.
I'd just like to be very sure.
There's a small tag on the knife.
It says SL-92, full stop. That's my birthday.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a code, DL6. Maybe it's that case.
That's weird. Something similar to what's written on the tag.
Let's have a look here at this knife. I'd better check this knife out.
He's been staring at that knife for a full 30 minutes.
It freaks me out he knows how to hold it so well.
Hold it, Slam! Sorry about that, lads. Alright. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot,
It's been a
again,
terrible
thanks
day
for
for
waiting for me.
You've wasted my time, you've wasted everyone else's time.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Another detective was killed at the police department.
That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Aji?
I'm at a loss for words.
And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect?
Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, right?
I suppose I could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case.
Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. What shall I tell you? What shall I tell you? I will tell you.
So tell me, where was the victim found?
Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found. But I can say the crime took place in the evidence room of the police department.
The evidence room? Wait a second. I've heard of that.
We've been there before.
The evidence room? Didn't he mention that just now in his testimony case? Let me know if you need any more insights.
Knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
There's the connection between the two cases.
You seem happy, Mr. Wright.
Just finished my lunchbox. Happy? We've just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case.
Phrasing.
Lucky you.
With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details.
Not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about
Hold it. Slam. Chief. The defence's position is simply this, : the connection between these two cases has already been proven.
You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection?
Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Judge. Always like to get permission from you. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard, the one I'm tapping here. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room.
Edgeworth.
Not to mention the victim had written down the numbers on the knife's evidence tag.
He's playing Animal Crossing under the desk.
And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Oh no.
Indeed. There do seem to be too many correct connections for it to be a coincidence.
You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here.
Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim and the police department.
See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet, and all.
Can we get the information unofficially?
Sure. Why not? It's unofficial after all.
What? Really?
Who would have guessed?
I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim of the department. Okay.
Hold it. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything?
Because I'm caught. Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly.
Why is it sticky? Oh, well, I guess I might as well. Okay. How about you tell me the victim's ID number?
Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that.
What?
Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all.
We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't you go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189.
Bingo!
Well, that's quite long.
Thank you. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts.
8, 2. I can't do it. Well done.
You didn't even get the first number right.
Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number of the victim at the police department, 5842189.
Now say it again, twice as fast.
5842189. Nailed it.
5842189.
Slam.
No.
Actually, it does, Your Honour. It does. I think.
Meaning?
Slam. It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you?
Let me have a look at my evidence bag. Here, take that. Slam. Witness?
Uh-huh.
What is it, right? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
We don't have time to unpack all that now, do we?
Yeah.
No, it's just, I got confused.
And this is news.
Zing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Christ, Edgeworth. Huh?
Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do.
Not here, not now, Edgeworth. Slam. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Right, I've had my thinky time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. You all see that?
Oh, is it all?
Turn that round so everyone can see. No, Your Honour, I'm a defence attorney. Remember?
Yes, I do.
This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Tap in here.
Shame on you, Rhino. Personal IDs are top secret.
Yeah, that's right. Stop invading people's privacy. Boo this man. Boo.
I didn't like you the minute you walked in.
Oh, come on, guys. Look, Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
Oh my God, that's the same number.
He's saying it again, though.
That's the one he's just read out twice.
And this means what exactly? Do remember, I'm quite slow.
Huh?
Wait. That ID number that we heard from the chief earlier, that started with 82. I've forgotten the rest of it.
You even got the first number wrong.
They really like that joke.
The number of chief of police gave us was
5842189. Yes, we all know. Come on, everybody.
know
We can
it.
all say it. 5842189.
189.
It's like watching an episode of Last of the Summer Wine. Jesus Christ.
Wait a second, right? What does this...
mean? That's what I want to know. We're a pair, aren't we? The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. Slam, what does our witness think about that?
Oh, sharp as a tack, Rhino. Sharp as a tack.
Wait. No, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:50 in the underground parking lot.
Yet, a detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department.
Is it twins?
In the evidence room at the exact same time.
Spoiler alert. It's not twins.
Never twins. That's impossible. So what we're saying is the same person was killed at the same time.
Oh my God. This is absolutely absurd. You should get Jonathan Creek in on this.
And in a completely different location.
I swear to God, this is better than Disney Plus,
I am
Netflix,
very-
Hulu all rolled together.
Order!
Courtroom
Shut up,
9!
you bastard.
No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine. But I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case!
Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered.
Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case.
Are you trying to say that all cops are bad?
Well, yes.
Wait. I said wait! Or didn't you hear me?
I didn't say anything. What?
The oversight. The grave error? Mr. Edgeworth. They're yours!
What? How? How dare...
We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our officer Meekins who brought you the news.
Officer Meekins.
Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? I'm surprised I haven't written it down. Wait, aha!
Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir.
You don't mean him?
According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Huh? Hard to believe.
But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident.
Detective Bruce Goodman was murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report.
Right on the top with a W?
Yeah. Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making that connection. He did seem challenged.
Oh, wow.
In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
But, sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then,
No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy?
Good luck.
She's a sick burn.
What?
Now, what was the second rule of evidence law, huh?
If it's
No
your
robot
first
may
time in
harm another
evidence
human
law,
being.
you've got to evidence law. Emma, it's your line.
Sorry, I'm here. Just coming round.
Stop texting.
Mr. Wright?
What are you writing in there? Oh, well, it's, Christ, I really should know this.
And now it's your line, Edgeworth. Where is the professionalism in this company?
Rule 2. New evidence may only be submitted if it concerns the case on trial.
There might be auditions coming up.
And how is this relevant?
Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list.
What does this mean?
I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. connection was just proven by Rhino over here. Good job, Rhino, my boy.
Huh? I was just doing my job.
No. No!
This
Oh, that was a big
this is absolutely absurd what's happening here.
Back to courtroom 8.
Does it
Come
mean
on, right.
the
Come
judge's
on, guys.
name is Judge
Honestly.
Udge?
Yes.
Right, it seems we've started this trial.
You're becoming a thorn in my side, Worthy. There have been rumors.
I assume it seems that
After
way to
all, you
you.
were in the defendant's chair last year.
I might be having a stroke.
I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do.
Better get results this time. Really.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court.
I'm sorry.
Boy, can't wait for that to get retconned.
I don't think that's right.
We will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will this be sufficient?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned.
I love courtroom number 9.
That was a very dramatic courtroom sequence. So dramatic that I'm excited to see what happens next. With that in mind, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break so we can all catch a breather, go to the bathroom, etc. And we'll be right back with the second half of La Théâtre de Phénix. See you then. Well, hello. I told you it would be a short break, because there's so much story to get through. Why is this case so long? Truly the main mystery that will never be solved. But with that in mind, I know you're curious about more investigation. Let's get right back into it. This is Rise from the Ashes, the second half. February 23rd, 2:15 p.m., Wright & Co. Law Offices.
Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case, anyway? I'm a little confused.
Huh? Well, let's see. Jesus, what is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room.
What's this and the evidence room part? I was there, but the prosecutor's office and police department are 30 minutes apart by car.
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least.
All right, let's do it.
Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this.
Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright, and I can hear you.
Huh?
Would you mind coming with me? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go! Science awaits us!
Right, yo.
I use these glasses to listen to your inner monologue.
February 23rd, Prosecutor's Office, underground parking lot.
You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. Cold, fine. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares?
Of course it was our victim who was killed at the department.
And my sister would never do such a thing. I know it.
The oil drum. Was it empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water.
My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never!
Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister.
That's not it at all. It's just... we're both professionals at what we do, and I respect her for it.
Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was bloodstains or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away.
Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright.
Huh? What's that grin for? You're scaring me.
This situation calls for one thing, and that thing is luminol testing fluid.
I was just thinking the same thing, but luminol?
Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water.
You can't?
Even if you can't see it, it's still there.
But wouldn't the police have already done those tests?
Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try.
Me? Why do I have to do it?
I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet.
We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it.
Speak for yourself. Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses.
Okie doke. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? Bloody hell.
To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this. See? Touch the screen to spray it on. Meta. Okay, let's find some bloodstains.
Right, okay. Spray. I'm just spraying everywhere. There you
Maybe
go.
near the car. That's
right.
it.
Oh, let's have a look over here. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses.
Thanks.
So, is this a blood stain?
It's so,
Emma, you're shaking.
it's just, this is my first time seeing real blood.
What?
Even your own?
Jesus, scientific investigation in action.
Oh, okay. Well, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course.
Of course. What's odd about this, scientifically? What is so odd about this, scientifically? The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood?
I definitely think so. I've perked up. I mean,
You have.
look at all the blood on the sole of this victim's shoe. I'm fine with blood on shoes.
It's strange. Yeah, you did see that yesterday or this morning. I forget when the thing was. If they fought here, there'd have to be more blood stains than this.
Hey, Mr. Wright. See how I'm marking up the floor plans when we find a blood stain?
I do see it.
I hope you don't mind me drawing on the easel.
That's right.
See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right?
You are. The easel's for everyone. Yeah, that's very useful information to have.
I saved up my allowance to buy this.
Good.
Other children go to theme parks.
Right, I'm just going to take that, Emma, pop it in the rucksack.
We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Post-truth.
And we'll drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day.
Yeah! It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? We haven't done that for this long.
This luminol stuff is going to come in handy.
Ha! I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box.
Miss Starr?
You only trust your own eyes, huh? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house.
Why would you
Sorry.
tell us it's old?
Yeah, Christ, it's just that kind of lead isn't... Lead? Let me say all this again. That kind of lead doesn't really get my mouth watering.
You are on the thinnest of ice, Oswald.
I cannot read that sentence. Right, let's chat with her more.
You certainly put me in a tight spot today.
My apologies, Miss Starr, but...
No, it's okay. It was my fault.
Oh, we know. Snap, snap.
Shut up. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid it wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry.
Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That is unforgivable.
It is right, she's unforgivable.
Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw.
I mean, she has a point.
Droopy.
Fucking droopy.
And here he is.
I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective, she stabbed good man.
I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what?
So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr?
Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they either got harder or they coughed it up.
Coughed it up?
They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too.
Don't subscribe to her OnlyFans.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Every day, I drag the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect.
Dear God.
And before long, they called me the Cop-Up Queen.
I'm gonna grow up.
Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches.
Yes. And you were let go, fired?
I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident in red.
SL... Wait, she doesn't need. I'm gonna give her a present. What shall I give her?
The knife.
Ah, the note.
Give her the knife.
Take the knife.
What do you think about this?
SL9 incident. On that knife? And on that note, Good Man. Good Man was the head detective on that case, you know.
Really?
No, I just said it for the shits and giggles. That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Good Man was killed. Hair toss, as I suspected. SL9 isn't over. Not yet.
Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Alright, let's give her another present.
Give her a shoe.
If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes.
So, you went straight to the scene of the crime?
And climbed the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder? That's when I took this photo. Yes.
In other words, 5 minutes after the crime?
Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were.
The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Star. You lying was the problem.
Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't gonna have it disregarded again. Just like that time.
That time? Right, let's chat with her some more.
That's when I learned the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable.
Disposable?
2 years ago was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence.
Do you not have uniforms?
So they didn't solve it? Sorry, I'm so distracted by that cowboy.
On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed.
Jesus.
Executed? Bloody hell.
Yeah, the criminal got what was coming to him. Doesn't get any cleaner than that. Only problem was, they never found decisive evidence. Not even a little.
And they still executed him.
That sounds like undue process.
What? But the criminal was executed, right?
Evidence of a sort. Made up evidence.
What? You mean they executed someone with fabrica?
With fabrica?
Fabrica is a very commonly used tool.
Is that like an axe or a sword?
It's a slow dissolving agent.
Thought it was a
The language on
spice.
your game has changed to Spanish. Paprika for clothes.
Do
Right.
they inject it or?
It's more slowly applied, poured on like salt on a snail.
Oh Christ! It was all over
Oh.
the skin.
So they
You
fizz.
clench your fists like I'm doing when you use it.
Oh Christ!
Jesus.
My brother told me all these wonderful things about its effects on your skin. It's got all these great things for removing the pimples and the whatnots.
It's what it was used back in the day, you know, the old-fashioned skin whitening technique.
Oh,
It's a
It
sister
started with
product of
using
chloroquine.
fabric.
I highly recommend.
Tell you what, I've actually got some quite big, like, calluses on my foot here. Do you reckon it will get rid of the dead skin on the bottom?
Oh, honey,
would-
without a
What
doubt,
is happening?
Without any question in my mind.
Oh.
Does somebody forget to click?
No,
I think
I clicked. I think the screen sharing is frozen.
I think
would
that's
agree
right.
with your assessment.
All we can see is Fabrica here.
You can only see Fabrica.
Yeah.
That's
Indeed. We're not riffing for no reason. I promise you, that's all we got.
well, you know what? It's good. In the spirit of theatre, you kept going, and that's what I admire. I can't seem to
Indeed.
stop the screen sharing.
You're also
good.
frozen, Chaz.
Excellent. This is very good news to everyone involved.
We've been doing this how many weeks?
Yeah, it never gets any easier. I'm gonna go to a quick break. Oh no, there we go. Has screen sharing stopped? That's good news.
Yep.
It has.
Yep.
Yeah, but you've frozen now.
Yep, awesome. I'm gonna cut all this out of the edit. No one's gonna see this shit.
Sweet.
I really need a technical difficulties slide at this point.
I know someone who's very good at creating overlays.
Yeah, I'll probably get on that. Let's take a quick intermission while we fix this up. Hello, everyone. So sorry about all of this. For some reason, the technology on our end means that the screen sharing isn't working quite the way it should. So we are going to have to call it a day there. So sorry about that. But we'll be back next week with the investigation portion of Rise from the Ashes. In the meantime, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be supporting all of the wonderful cast who have appeared tonight, starting with Scott Oswald, who is our Phoenix Wright. Scott has nothing to plug. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
There we go.
Yeah. Nothing more.
Scott's got nothing to plug.
Just I suppose, like, learn and listen is what I'm going to say, is my plug.
Learn and listen. I like that.
Listen. Yeah.
That's very nice. Where would we be without our wonderful Emma Sky? Rosanna Super, do you have anything to plug?
In the middle of to Scott. Get on Audible, get education.
Yes, Audible and education, very important. There, it's all going to pot today. It's all going to pot today. Angel Star, Hannah, how's your connection?
I think my connection's fine, mate.
Yep, you're all good.
For once, on our terrible Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my plug is, hi, I'm Hannah Raymond Cox. Please follow me on Twitter at ColorOutLoud. If you see any, I guess my plug would be, if you see any anti-Semites crawling out of the woodwork, as they tend to do when societal breakdowns are happening, don't hesitate to give them a swift kicking from me. And yeah, listen and learn, as Scott said, and if you have spare change, do donate to legal activists in particular.
Yes.
This is ostensibly a legal show.
This is a legal show, yes. This was supposed to be Robbie Curran's full-on debut as Mike Meekins. Technical issues have denied him, but I still want Robbie to get his plugs in.
Plug. Here is one. If you are like me and like video games, you may or may not be autistic or neurodiverse. Do you like hard-hitting, hilarious writing from autistic or neurodiverse artists? Then I've got just the thing for you.
Oh!
Online, we have, I am part of a collective of writer performers on the spectrum called Neurospectacular. We are debuting our first online short on Friday. I don't know what time, but on Friday, you'll be able to find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under Neurospectacular, all one word. And I do. Yeah, the first short is going to be me doing a very, very silly short about being helping the neurodiverse understand, deal with the neurotypical. So if that sounds funny to you, tune in.
Awesome. Our wonderful judge, Tom Tuck. Plugs,
Hello.
please. Well done today.
Thank you. I'm Turley God all over the internet, and why not buy my DVD? I've got about 30 of them.
He's got 30 DVDs. Every single one must go.
Yep, they're taking up a lot of space.
And we did have a proper full-on debut today. Richard Sandling as Damon Gann. Amazing stuff. Thank you so much for joining us. Plugs, please.
My pleasure. Thank you. Yes, hello, my name's Richard Sandling. I run a thing called Richard Sandling's Perfect Movie, which live streams every Saturday night at 9 o'clock UK time on Facebook. It's a stand-up comedy show about films, where comedians do material about films and we recreate comedians' favourite scenes from films and talk about it. Mr. Tom Tuck has done it. Other people will be doing it. You can find that just by Googling Richard Sandling's Perfect Movie. And other than that, obviously, be excellent to each other.
Yeah. A very, very good message. And finally from me, thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry about the technical issues. We'll get to the bottom of it before next week. We will be back next week with the investigation portion. Same time on this Twitch channel. Also on Saturdays. I forgot about Miles. Miles as Jake Marshall. He made a brief appearance. I'm so sorry. Forgive me, Miles.
That's all good. I didn't have that much to plug anyways, but even considering that this is mostly an audience of artists, if you have even a couple of pennies, my hometown is one of many places that are embroiled in protests right now. So if you could please donate to the Atlanta Mutual Aid Fund, that would be great.
Oh yes, please do support that. Speaking of which, speaking of which, typically this would be the time where I say I've got Ko-Fi links and PayPal links and all of that. I'm going to forego all that. In the chat, I have posted a link which will take you straight to the donation page of the Stephen Lawrence Foundation. So do that instead. That's vastly more worthwhile. But if you want to come join me again before next Wednesday on this Twitch channel on Saturday at 8 p.m, I do an online quiz called Apoco Quiz. This week is just general knowledge. There's no specific theme to it. So if you just want to do a nice light-hearted general knowledge quiz, this Twitch channel on Saturday at 8 p.m. With that, a big thank you to all of the cast who have been so wonderful. And this has been La Theatre de Phénix, slightly abridged this time, and we will see you next week. Good night, everyone.